The Royal Rumble 2025 is in the books, and here we are talking about it. I am the Honorary Zeus, and joined as always by my co-host and very good friend, Cronus the Bear.
Yeah, that's another Rumble in the bag.
Yeah, this is Artificial Intelligence Wrestling. Thanks for stopping by. If you do like the content, give us a like and a subscribe. And we are going to talk about the Royal Rumble winners and basically what we think of what we saw on Saturday night. So leave a comment with what you thought of Charlotte and Jay winning the Rumbles. Cronus, what are your immediate thoughts on just kind of like a 2-sentence thing on the two Rumble winners we saw on Saturday?
Oh, well, if I was to sum it up even in one word, it would probably be controversial.
Yeah, polarizing, definitely.
Lots of discourse on it.
Yeah, especially on social media, which is to be expected these days.
Yeah.
Should we start with? Let's start with Charlotte. We'll move on to Jey Uso at the end. So Charlotte Flair wins the Women's Royal Rumble in what I thought was largely a very good Women's Rumble.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the Rumble itself.
Yeah. I thought we had a lot of the star power in the Rumble was crazy, because when you consider the original Women's Rumbles, the amount of legends they had to put in to fill, whereas we had none of that. Trish was the only legend.
Yeah. Good amount of NXT in there as well.
Yeah, I thought they utilized. I thought the NXT picks were really good. Like they were probably the 4 that I'd pick. And yeah, I thought the Rumble was great. I didn't like Nia Jax eliminating like 6 of the big hitters in one move. That was pretty stupid.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That's when Io went out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Bianca.
It was always next year.
Yeah. And I think the reason I didn't like that is because once that spot happened and you saw who was left in the ring, then you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. And to an extent, I think you could probably have guessed Charlotte and been in with a very good shout in anything.
Yeah,
she's in.
Yeah,
whether it's Royal Rumble or any kind of match.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably Charlotte Winslow.
It is, yeah, unfortunately, and she's been out for so long. We were hoping maybe they would not follow that formula and go with someone like Io Sky, but here we are. So Charlotte Winslow. I wasn't a fan of Charlotte winning. I thought it was utterly predictable, and it's just kind of it's tiring at this point, isn't it? And
yeah, it's repeating the same thing she does every time, really.
Exactly.
Comes back, Charlotte wins slow. Yeah. Eventually, then has to go away again.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you even if you compare it to someone like CM Punk, so CM Punk came back after God knows how many years, but he didn't win the Rumble. He got injured, and then he worked the best feud of the year, had the match of the year in WWE, and then goes into the Rumble this year, doesn't win it again. He's probably going to work a story, and you compare that to Charlotte, who goes away, comes back, wins the Rumble, job done. And it's just like, that's a lot. That's something that people would have expected from someone like CM Punk when he came back, just to be handed everything, but it didn't turn out that way. And same with Cena. Like, Cena, it could have been the exact same thing for Cena. Cena has as much political power in WWE as he wants, but he chose not to use it and chose to give it to Jey Uso. He could have easily said, "It's my final year. I'm winning the Rumble. Job done." And they would have said, "Okay, no problem." But
yeah, I expect so.
So to see Charlotte win over someone like Io Sky, who I thought it would have benefited more, it would have been a better moment. Charlotte could have always won the Chamber and ended up in the same position she's going to be in anyway, which is probably beating Tiffany Stratton.
Please no.
Yeah, so on that, in terms of what we are now going to get, which is going to be Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, the good news and bad news from my point of view. The bad news is, I think Charlotte's winning. The only good news I can see out of that is Charlotte beats Tiffany. Tiffany goes full sympathetic babyface because everyone's going to hate Charlotte by that point if they don't already. Tiffany can go on the journey. Tiffany can win Queen of the Ring and then do Queen versus Queen at SummerSlam. Tiffany beats Charlotte. That's what should happen if they're going to, go on this road, because we know that the chase is always better for the champions. So I think giving that to Tiffany would be good if they go ahead and do that.
I like the Queen of the Ring thing there, actually.
Yeah.
making it queen versus queen.
Well, the only reason I say that is because I think they were planning on doing that with Nia and Charlotte when Nia won Queen of the Ring. But obviously Charlotte was out injured.
Yeah.
So Queen versus Queen, SummerSlam, Tiffany and Charlotte, I think it'd be a great match. Don't get me wrong. Charlotte's an incredible wrestler. We know this.
Yeah, and Tiffany's great as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think you and I are probably in agreement that this was, probably the least desired move in terms of the Women's Rumble, just because of how predictable it was.
Yeah, it was predictable. I didn't really want it, but I'm not too bothered to see. Like, I'm not too upset to see.
No.
Charlotte versus Tiffany.
No, because Charlotte at WrestleMania is a different beast, and she puts on some of the best matches you'll ever see in women's wrestling. Potentially, if she wants to. We saw it with her and Rhea at WrestleMania 39, which is probably my favorite women's match in years.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we know that Charlotte is a star, and she's, oozes star power, and that's what WWE hang on to. And, even with the change of leadership and change of structure in WWE, I guess some things never change. So,
yep.
Charlotte wins, lol. I asked A.I. Jeff. I said to Jeff, I said, "Oi, Jeff, how you doing?" Here, Jeff. I said, "Charlotte won the Rumble." He said, "I know." And I said, I said, "I want you to give me some pros and cons of Charlotte winning the Rumble." And he said, "You got it." So let's go through the pros that A.I. Jeff has said for Charlotte. So he said, star power. Charlotte Flair is one of WWE's biggest names with a history of championship success, ensuring a high-profile match at WrestleMania which could draw significant viewership. I think that is what it boils down to, isn't it? A lot of the time.
You mentioned it earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Comeback story. Her return from injury and subsequent Rumble win give WWE an opportunity to craft a compelling narrative about overcoming adversity. Well, I don't know about
Classic
that.
Charlotte.
Yeah. Not sure what adversity she's had to go through outside of the ring, but we'll see. Established feuds. She has existing rivalries with many top-tier women, such as Rhea Ripley, or a brand new one with Tiffany Stratton, which could lead to eagerly anticipated matches. I think that is one of the best things, is that whoever she chooses, Rhea or Tiffany, is going to be Tiffany, obviously.
Yeah.
But even if she chose Rhea, I mean, they need a rubber match anyway, because they're one-on-one, aren't they?
Yeah, either it's something we've not seen before in Charlotte and Tiffany, or something we've not seen for long enough, I think, in Charlotte and Rhea, for it to be fresh.
Yep, and it's a guaranteed banger. Yeah. And they are 1-1 at WrestleMania, so they need a rubber match at some point.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah, because actually the last time Charlotte won the Rumble, she went after Rhea's NXT title, if you remember, during lockdown. That was their first match.
Yeah. That was shocking, but also good.
Maybe she'll choose Julia this time. Never know.
Again.
And the other pro he's come up with is the promotion of women's wrestling. Her involvement in major events continues to elevate the women's division, showcasing its talent and importance within WWE. I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, because, I mean, if Charlotte shows up to work, whoever she's in the ring with looks great, because Charlotte's just that good when she wants to be. And I think anyone going against Charlotte...
no locker room gets worse for having Charlotte in it.
Yeah, of course. And anyone who goes against Charlotte at WrestleMania is going to come out looking good. So, including Tiffany, even in defeat, I think Tiffany will have an amazing WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now for the cons. Predictability. Many fans found her win predictable, which can lead to a lack of excitement or surprise, potentially diminishing the impact of her victory. Yeah.
Agreed.
Nailed it. Fan fatigue. Charlotte has won multiple titles and Rumbles, leading to some fan fatigue or the feeling that other wrestlers are not getting their chance to shine. Ding! Backlash. Yep. As seen in posts on X and YouTube dislikes, there was considerable fan backlash, with many feeling WWE is over-relying on Flair for big events, even with a stacked women's division. I mean, that
is fair.
Yeah, it felt like a very safe choice, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a good word to use. Very safe. They could have taken a risk. I mean, with the Women's Rumble, there was only two real winners, wasn't there? Either Charlotte or Io. I couldn't think of anyone who realistically was going to win that Rumble. Yeah, I mean, you could throw out outsiders like Bianca, but we knew she wasn't going to win it. Bayley won it last year. Liv's just had a title. Becky didn't even turn up. And I understand why, because it probably would have, Becky and Charlotte would have been a bit too much, I think.
And Alexa.
And Alexa, yeah, Alexa coming back was great. Great to see Alexa again. And the final con is potential overshadowing. Her dominance might overshadow emerging stars, preventing newer talent from gaining the spotlight they need to grow in popularity and credibility. Now, that all depends on what happens going forward. If she beats Tiffany and it's a one and done, then that's terrible. But if she beats Tiffany and there's like a journey back for Tiffany to overcome, then that's probably what we need to see.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that is Charlotte winning the Rumble, so no surprise there. Do you want to move on to Jey Uso?
I suppose we should.
Yep. So Mr. Jey Uso shocked the world. In our video, we put through 5 people who we think should win the Rumble, and Jey Uso was not one of them, and he probably wouldn't have even been an honorable mention.
No, considering the names in there, definitely not.
Exactly. So, I mean, I was stunned when CM Punk got eliminated. I was stunned.
Yeah.
Because Roman and Seth got eliminated before that. I thought, okay, Punk's winning. And then Punk goes out. I'm like, holy shit, John Cena's winning. And then Jey Uso eliminates John Cena. I was like, what the hell is happening? Where do we start with this? So, first of all, it was a shock moment.
Yeah.
And that's always good in wrestling. It's always nice to have that unpredictability. It's what a Rumble should be about. What are your thoughts on Jey Uso winning the Rumble?
Definitely shocked.
Yep.
Definitely. I think they swerved everyone, really. He is popular. He is over. I'm not really a fan of his gimmick. It's a bit one-dimensional.
Yep.
But people are, clearly.
Yeah. And I think...
You've got whole stadiums yeeting.
I know, yes.
You've got to do something with that. But it's just not really what I want to see again.
No.
Is Jey in the main title scene.
Yeah, 70,000 people celebrating. You know, it's got to say something, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can't overlook that, and I understand that's why. But Jey versus Gunther again, really?
Yeah, I think this is where what it boils down to for me is that, you know, I like a good shock moment. I think Jey is very over, very popular, and looking back on it, I can see why they'd give him a Rumble win. But realistically, if he does face Gunther, then main event Jey Uso is not going to main event WrestleMania. I don't see that. I don't see that being a main event match.
It's going to be Cody. Well, because they got 2 nights. I mean, I guess they technically will, but the last match is always the main event, even if it's 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah, exactly. It's the end of the show, isn't it? The end of the show.
Yeah.
Jey versus Gunther, I think, is my probably biggest problem with it, because we've seen it multiple times, haven't been blown away by it, and it probably means Jey's going to win, which means it's basically a wasted title reign for Gunther, because Gunther hasn't really had the opponents that he had in the IC title reign to really solidify his current World Heavyweight title reign. He hasn't had the Sheamuses, the Drews, you know, the Gables, the Dragunovs, the AJ. I mean, AJ Styles apparently is moving to Raw. So could we squeeze in a Gunther versus AJ at the Chamber? Perhaps, maybe. I'd like to see that. But
I would like to see it.
Yeah. But I think in terms of Jey winning, I understand why they did it, because he's definitely going to win a world title this year, and they need to strike while the iron is hot. And you know, Jey is so hot right now with the crowd and sells a shitload of merch, and they are a business predicated on making money. So, okay, it makes sense. I don't really mind him winning the Rumble. You know, we've had worse Rumble winners. Like Roman in 2015 was a worse Rumble winner because of how the crowd reacted. That tells you what a bad Rumble winner is.
Yeah.
You know, Batista in 2014. Every Rumble from 2009 to 2015 had a winner people don't care about, apart from maybe Edge in 2010. So it's definitely not the worst Rumble winner ever. It's not the worst Rumble. It's one of the best Rumbles I've seen in years, to be honest, the actual Rumble. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jey Uso, I mean, John Cena winning, I wasn't really a fan of either, for the same reason as Charlotte winning. So I'm happy John Cena didn't win. If John Cena is going to win number 17, I prefer it to be a bit more difficult than just win the Rumble, lol, win Mania.
Yeah, and I need it to be Cody.
Yeah. So maybe Cena wins the Chamber, Cena versus Cody, maybe. I mean, WrestleMania. We've got another video coming out probably later this week about predicting the WrestleMania card after the Rumble, so stick around for that. But yeah, Jey Uso, I mean, I have been quite vocal saying I'm not really a fan of Jey Uso's in-ring work. I don't think he's a great wrestler. The gimmick is, like you say, it's over. It's, you know, it's quite samey. It's one-dimensional, etc.
Yeah.
But you know, if you've got to give the people what they want, the people want Jey Uso, and I think you probably could have. There probably would have been an argument against anyone winning the Rumble. Like if Roman wins the Rumble, oh, bloodline nepotism. You know, if CM Punk wins the Rumble, a lot of people hate CM Punk, so they're going to moan about that. If Cena wins the Rumble, you get the Charlotte accusations. And then Seth wasn't really kind of elevated. I think the only one who everyone would have been happy with winning the Rumble was Drew McIntyre. And, you know, if you are going to do a surprise winner of a Royal Rumble and shock everyone, I'd have preferred it to be Drew McIntyre over Jey Uso. But I don't hate it or love it. It's probably where I'm at with Jey Uso. I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, well, whatever we think about it, it's happening.
Exactly, yeah.
So might as well just strap in, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a fantastic...
just batters him.
There's a fantastic proverb that I want you guys to pay attention to. And it's the dog on the cart analogy. And it's dog is tied to a moving cart. And he's being dragged along. He can either kick and scream and make it worse, or he can go along with it and enjoy the ride. That's the only two choices. And that applies to a lot of things in life, but it particularly applies to Jey Uso winning the Rumble. So the more you kick and scream and moan about it, you're just going to make yourself feel worse, and it's still going to end up happening anyway.
Yep.
So there's that. So Jey versus Gunther again. I mean, again. I mean, Jay's got to win, hasn't he? Unfortunately.
I do hope not, but yeah, probably will.
So let's look at some of AI Jeff's pros and cons for Jey Uso, shall we?
Let's.
So the pros, fan connection. Jey Uso has a strong connection with the audience, evidenced by his popularity and the chants of Yeet, which could mean a highly anticipated match at WrestleMania. His win could solidify his status as a main event player, finally rewarding fans who have supported him. I think that's a good point. Fair point.
Yeah, that's why he's won.
Yeah, basically. You know. The surprise factor, the unexpected nature of his victory could refresh WWE narrative's landscape, providing fans with a storyline they didn't anticipate, which can reignite interest in the product. I mean, I don't think the interest needs reigniting at the moment with the numbers they're doing, but I see what you mean.
No, definitely not. But, yeah, if it boosts them a bit,
yeah, we'll see.
Works for them, I suppose.
Building new stars. Jay's win could be seen as WWE's move to build a new main event star beyond the established names like Cena and Reigns, offering a fresh face for championship contention. I mean, it's always nice to see a new face in that kind of division. New star, by the way, guys, doesn't relate to age or experience. It relates to how they're presented on television. So I don't want anyone saying...
I'd still say he was a star when he was winning all those tag titles.
I guess so, yeah, but at main event level, like that upper echelon of the card. I mean, it's still not going to be Cody's title. The World Heavyweight title is still less than, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The final pro is merchant engagement. His popularity might translate into higher merchandise sales and increased fan engagement, particularly if WWE leverages his unique charisma and catchphrases. I think this is just a case of...
It's only got the one.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is just them striking while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
I think this is a financial move to just make as much money as possible, which, with shareholders, that's what they have to do.
And keep Rikishi happy on
Twitter. He's pretty pissed off he didn't win from the #1 spot, knowing Rikishi.
Yeah.
Now for the cons. Storyline overlap. Jay has already faced Gunther multiple times for the World Heavyweight Championship, potentially making another match between them makes them repetitive unless WWE can introduce a new angle or a stipulation match. Maybe.
Last man standing.
Yeah, cage match. Yeah, cage match, last man standing. I mean, they've got, 2.5 months to book this feud, so no excuses. Fan backlash. There was a significant backlash from fans, as seen with negative reactions on YouTube and social media, indicating that some felt this was not the best choice for storytelling or match variety. Yeah, that's a fair criticism. I mean, part of me felt like that as well.
Yeah, definitely with the variety.
Yeah. Missed opportunities. Other wrestlers like John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and others or some returning stars might have provided a different, perhaps more compelling narrative for WrestleMania 41. I think that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Because if CM Punk wins the Rumble, you're thinking, holy shit, CM Punk and Cody, Mania, that's a Mania match. That's big.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that's definitely the case. And the final con is limited moveset. Critics point out that Jey Uso might not have the depth in his in-ring storytelling or moveset compared to other potential winners, which could lead to less dynamic title matches. And I think we've already seen that various times. I think Jey's moveset is quite limited, and he is a tag team wrestler. There's no getting away from that. He might improve. You never know. John Cena did it in 2014 or whenever. He started adding like springboard stunners and code reds to his moveset and stuff. So,
6 moves of doom.
7 moves of doom, yeah. So we never know, but we're here for the ride.
Yeah, got no choice, do we?
That's it.
No, I'm sure they should make something of it. If it's a gimmick to the match, make it a bit more palatable.
Yeah, I think so. And that's where we are. But we will see what happens. But that is it, guys. That is our thoughts on the 2 Rumble winners. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who would you have had win the Rumble? What are your thoughts on Jey and Charlotte winning the Rumble? And how do you think it's going to play out for WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
We'll be back soon. See you later.
Bye.